Hello! Ensign Creighton here. I am the communications officer of the starship Aegis, and I'll be here to brief you on the channel today. The GM in the Great Barrier broadcasts tabletop games using the Star Trek Adventures 1st Edition 2D20 engine by Modiphius. Today, we are broadcasting Star Trek Adventures Aegis, our campaign set aboard the titular Daedalus-class vessel and your home among the stars. Our game is set in the era of the prequel series Enterprise, during and beyond the events of its later seasons. You don't necessarily need to have watched the series to understand what's going on, but it certainly wouldn't hurt. If this is your first time on the channel, then you'll notice you start accruing Quatlus, our local channel points. You can use these to influence the game in all sorts of interesting ways, increasing or decreasing the difficulty of tasks our players will have to roll, presenting tokens of momentum or threat that the players and the GM can spend in-game, or even creating new story advantages or complications which may twist the adventure in new, entertaining directions. You can even have the GM voice an NPC line if you want. If you want to earn Quatlus faster, you can follow, subscribe, or even just accrue points passively by keeping up with their streams. If you want to learn more about the channel, then there are a whole series of commands you can type in chat using the exclamation mark and then the phrases listed here, which will let you pull up our full archives, keep up with our community, and support the channel. We hope you enjoy our games and that you follow our crew here on Twitch and YouTube. If you like it enough to support the channel and have resources to spare, then you can subscribe to us here on Twitch or support us on Ko-Fi. Either way, we hope you enjoy the show. We'll have you transferred over to the game shortly.
Ah,
Tax evasion.
Hey, audience.
be gay, do crime. It's June. I think we are legally obliged to be gay and do crime.
Yeah.
Do that too.
So that's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Luckily for me, I am now working. I'm back to being a postman again. Thank
Good.
goodness for stable income.
Nice.
We can't punch him. He's a uniformed officer.
That's right.
Not that cut. Jesus Christ! I'm not. Our Royal Mail system is privately owned. It's no longer public, so it's just like, yeah. Technically, you could still punch me, and I can't do anything about it. So
It sucks.
welcome, welcome to Zach ASMR.
Yes, deep in my ears.
Zach, the stream is not on. Blink off and blink back on. Maybe it didn't load right.
No,
or
the
connect.
stream is properly going, but my mic was not functioning for a moment there, so that was the problem. I've got it figured out. The issue itself was, in fact, in OBS, so I deliberately played around with everything else on the computer, on Discord, on all of that. Speaking of OBS, we now have enough people in the Discord. I need to shrink down this listing a little bit. Let's see here.
Also, Steph, how is Ridley?
She's doing okay, though I have to admit one thing is rather hilarious. We started rewatching Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
That girl is obsessed with the theme song.
Yes.
Yes. That's it right there.
To it every single time it comes on.
Hey,
Yes.
it might be an argument that hey, that song wasn't so bad, you know?
There was an argument of that song was bad. How was that bad? That was like one of the best openings Star Trek ever had.
It's certainly not a bad song. It's just
Was
really,
it
the song you're gonna go with for Star Trek?
Yeah, it was a deviation from like the previous ones of just like you had like you'd have like a little voiceover like Space, the Final Frontier, and then you'd have like a long orchestral piece going to like still images moving. Whereas now it's, why is there singing? I don't like the singing.
It's pop. It's going
different.
from pop to pop music, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
Now, due to copyright issues, I've offered to Zach to sing that theme song at the beginning of our it's turned me down. And you know that this isn't the only place I've been turned down as a singer. When I was teaching a class, I warned them as punishment I would sing to them, and I did that. And you know what? One of my students was like, "Hey man, we tap out." They never got out of line again, man. Because I'd say I can sing again, and they'd be like, "No, it's okay." Man.
There was a blissful few months back whenever Avengers Endgame was playing, to where I could threaten spoilers in the classroom, and then I'll shut up.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I like that. We don't get that anymore though. Like the Marvel movies now, it's just kind of
I don't know. I just haven't. Nothing's been grabbing me. Oh, Spider Noir I watched recently. I'm watching
Spider Noir.
Noir.
Wow.
Oh, Noir. Thank you.
Look,
I was thinking, have they made a series where Spider-Man is also Thor? It's just like,
Spider Thor.
No, but they made a series where Spider-Man is Nick Cage. So
yeah, which is, I'd like the fact that out of like the out of the multiverse like series, there were all of the Spider-Men that you see on screen. They're like, that one's being played by Nick Cage. We need to make a series of that.
Did I ever tell you the story about the Nick Cage Spider Noir when they did the animated thing?
What did they do?
No.
Because he was like he did like the test for the voiceover and everything, and everyone was kind of lukewarm about it, and they were like, "Could you do like a bit more intense?" And they're like, "Oh, you want the full Cage? Okay, got it." He knows he's insane, and I loved it.
Vampire in New York level of like insane.
Yes. Well, what? Now that there's a natural break in this, and everything seems to be more or less functioning here. Hello and welcome from the center of your entertainment universe, everyone. Hello, chat. It's been a minute. It's been probably a little over a year.
Been a long run.
Oh yeah, wait, no, hold on. Where is it?
It's been a long
Yay!
We have the soundboard for a reason.
Excellent.
Yeah. Also, one of the few redeeming things from the very short treks.
Oh no.
Anyway, but yes, we are back, and we are actually going to be coming back on a sustained basis. Obviously, to preempt one question that some of you might have on what we've been doing, or when we were last up. We did our last run of the campaign, like the newest episode was in, I believe, originally late December of 2024, and some things happened during that time. I might elaborate more on that later, but the only other stream that has been Aegis related that has happened since then was the broadcast of our remastered very first season, of which we only have one member of the cast from that time. So by virtue of having survived everyone else, Craig gets to host today's Q&A session. So
Yay.
Yay!
yes. Hello there, Zyla. Everyone can be Spider-Man, even Raldar, and most especially Dar. Great power. Great something. He's a good boy, but he's not learned all of his everything yet. Incidentally,
I hope when he learns it, he gets a British accent.
yeah, that'll be fun stuff, and that will come up when we get back to the Broken Sword campaign, which I will say just at the top. News on the news on the future of the campaigns, I will get that out to everyone as quickly as I can. In the meantime, I encourage you, if you want to stay up to date on that, check out our social media, check out our Discord. It's a nice little place. Then if you want to catch up on the campaign, any of the campaigns, quite frankly, all of our sessions are archived on YouTube for the Aegis campaign, the Broken Sword campaign, and the Partisan's Edge campaign. But yes, all of that said, I did cut off there. We're going to get into a special Q&A and Trek chat session. I'm going to say, first and foremost, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat here if you're joining us live. And if you're catching this in the archive, well, better luck next time. Season 3, you'll have the chance. But I think that I'm going to actually turn this over to Craig then for the session here. So by all means, and I'll DM you stuff as questions come in if you don't have the chat open yourself, Craig.
Thank you. Yes. So today's Q&A is going to be focusing on the second half of Season 2 of Aegis. If you want to look back at the first half of Season 2, we had a Q&A on that, and you can go to YouTube and look at GM in the Great Barrier for all the archived YouTubed sessions we've done. So the second half of the Season 2 consisted of 6 episodes?
I think it was
5 episodes. Sorry, 5. Sorry, yes.
Yes.
With the Weave of Eternity, Whispers of Tiresias. Not sure I'm getting that pronunciation correctly. The Unhappy Ones, On the Horns, and Acheron or Acheron, depending on your pronunciation. So if you cast your minds back to 2024, that seems a long time ago now, we can go in with a couple of questions. So, just to get the ball rolling, what was everyone? What was your favourite moments from the second half of Season 2? And I'm going to go to our wonderful GM first. Zach, what was your favourite moment?
Well, I think that this is this is a good time for me to say we will probably get into some spoilers here, so for those of you absolutely lacking context, maybe just take a moment away from your microphone or mute the tab for a few minutes at the time and check in. I make no promises otherwise. But no, honestly, I quite enjoyed some of the elements of the second half. I feel like, so far as what I was personally able to execute, the bookends of that mid-season are actually I'm quite proud of. So there was, of course, starting back off with the Weave of Eternity and the scale of the story. You know, I think successfully balancing the time that you guys that the team spent on the planet versus the ship, the kind of how all the story beats landed in terms of dealing with the temporal weapon that was involved. Yes, this is we're definitely I'll say like hinting at some of the temporal issues within the campaign was a bit more fun. I think that especially lands no harder than it did in as I pronounced it, I went with Acheron. But the like finding the role as the Guardian of Forever was kind of a neat moment there. I very much enjoyed breaking out that voice.
You mean Carl, the Guardian for
Yes,
Forever?
yes. I liked playing Carl.
And Panda, what did you like from season 2?
There were a few. I did enjoy Shira's little time loop. That was fun to just have a Groundhog's Day episode, especially for someone who is just trying to keep the ship afloat, and realizing that, stuck in time shenanigery. That was pretty great. I did enjoy I think it was the second season, which was the one episode with basically all our backup characters, and force Stewart to actually snap and just start taking charge because everyone else was just making things worse. So it was great progression there. I also just enjoyed. I mentioned it before, but I privately, but I did enjoy just everyone dumping on the science department and being like, "Yeah, no, you can just do this. It's a purple laser of some sort."
Magic.
I mean, that'll certainly work, right?
Science is magic, right?
Yeah. Just you decloak ships. It involves a purple laser. A purple laser? Yeah. So just do it. That's not enough information.
Do you mean a tachyon beam? Yeah, that thing. That's not how that works.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some beams or something?
We can make a beam, but what type of beam? It's like, what to specify?
I liked all the episodes that really shined the other characters besides my own, because I got to see more of what everybody else would do, and exploration of the characters. So yeah.
To expand, like Steph's new science officer is gonna hate everyone. So many
You see,
complaints.
that's different from me. I like the episodes where I'm in the spotlight and have to be up front, and that's why. How do you think I got this Q&A job?
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah.
What's your favorite moment from the second half of season 2?
That would be the crazy Hollywood flashback. I mean, I loved all the other ones, but I was so caught off guard by it. And Romanov had to adapt between being in sort of one reality versus another. And I thought that was really interesting. And in a way, it forced her to deal with, the original exposure to an alien artifact that got her, put in the hospital for a year. So I really liked that. I thought it was pretty cool. I think she probably goes back and reads historical documents like issues of the Hollywood Reporter, but not many people know that she does that. And maybe she's even screenwriting on the side a little bit.
And now you're technically royalty, a little bit, sort of.
Am I? How am I royalty?
You have a princess in your head, sort of.
That's true. That's true. So, yeah.
Not how any of this works.
So, yeah, no, I loved all the episodes. That one was really interesting because it also connected to getting to the ship where the system was, and she had a broken leg, and that was just all crazy. So, I enjoyed that.
Nice. Felix, what's your favorite moment?
Would love to be original, but I have to say, like, again, the time loop. It's amazing. Hollywood was amazing as well, but I love the time loop especially. It's
Groundhog
one
Day
of
is always fun.
these weird things that need to happen more in Star Trek, and if you're living in that world, it happens way too much. I think my favorite
It happens over and over again, doesn't it?
It's kind of the problem.
I love Shira's response when Sharp was like, "Oh yeah, it's time travel." Like that happens. Like yeah, it happens all the time.
Like it's in the name. But I think my favorite part of it, if I remember correctly, is like the escalating situation in the dining area. Where, like, depending over the loops, we went from like injury to death to like everyone kind of goes home.
Oh yeah, Racco and who's the Orion chef?
Alonso.
I love the Orion.
Alonso,
yeah,
he's awesome.
Well, thank you. He's kind of a throwaway character, but I want to bring him in because he was kind of attached to Sharp in another game. So I'm glad everybody enjoys him because I enjoy him.
Romanoff doesn't think people appreciate him enough. I mean, he does really go out of his way to put some good chow out there.
Hey, he doesn't murder anybody. He wants to half the time, but he rather,
We're not crediting people based on them not murdering people. That should just be.
It could be so easy.
Just don't worry where the meat comes from.
Save food storage, right? You murder somebody, you just make the body disappear in the galley.
Look. Just as long as you don't like put mustard or ketchup or add salt to his stuff, like you're good. You're good. Appreciate what you're given.
I don't know.
Because he works a lot. He works hard on those things, man.
Right, Peter.
I would have to go to the Hollywood episode. I really enjoyed that. I love Deep Space Nine's like Far Beyond the Stars episode, and it was nice to have our own one. In the sense of like, instead we had our like the film studio, and we're all creating the show of the Aegis. I found that really fun. And it was nice to have like one of us was having like the Cisco moment, or Benny was just like, wait, I know this is real, but then how is this? What's going on? Why is imagining everyone's obviously like actor who's playing like each of our characters, like now this writer in the writer's room, just like what's going on? I don't know. I really enjoyed that episode. It was really fun.
And I gotta say, it was well done. I worked as a story analyst for a production company at 20th Century Fox when I first moved to LA.
Ooh.
So yeah, I did. I worked in Hollywood for a bit. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But hey, my bosses were not the kind of negative Hollywood people. Actually, they were amazing, and they were the exception, not the rule.
Good.
We made Apocalypse Now, so You can look at all the streams from my producers. I still talk to my old boss. I had to call her for a reference about a year ago. So, but they were not the normal Hollywood type. But whenever we ranged out into the studio, you would encounter that bullshit. Oh, sorry, stuff. And I'd walk back and be thankful I was in this little production company where that stuff didn't go on.
It's like a what if situation for you there, just like, huh.
Yeah. So it was funny. You really got the feel of that, So
Cheesy, what was your favorite moment?
I think my absolute favorite moment was first learning about the captain's drama mama stuff. I think that was really fun. And then it leading
Captain
into
does
that
have a lot of drama.
That pre-recorded bit between it was like the three-way fight before we went down to the planet. I can't remember who it was, but I believe Steph pre-recorded one of the captains on another ship, and then
she recorded my character's mother-in-law.
Yes.
What's the name of the mother-in-law, Zach?
Zach,
sorry about that. Mike was having some trouble there. The mother-in-law is Queen Gelosa, I believe was the pronunciation.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and the reason you don't remember it is why you have problems with her.
Yeah.
Which I look forward to seeing in season 3.
Yes. Oh dear. For those of you in the stream here.
Good old monkey paw. Yes.
Yeah. I don't need my mother-in-law. Thank you very much. I'll do without.
Hey, Steph,
I'll remember that.
Yeah. Anyway,
Steph, your appearance in season 2 was brief, but memorable since you get to play Panda's mother-in-law there.
A pirate queen, no less.
Pirate queen, yes. Was that your favorite moment from season?
Well,
season
see,
2?
I got a different viewpoint than you guys did because I got to hear the GM discuss everything before it actually happened. So
yeah,
what's your favorite behind the scenes moment?
Zach and I conspired a whole lot throughout the entire season, so Steph probably heard all of that.
Yeah, pretty much. But I was also highly distracted and barely remembering anything. So
fair, understandable.
Yes, I did enjoy the time with the mother-in-law. That was fun.
We may have voice cameo from part of the reason for said distraction here in a moment. If I'm hearing right.
I think we should have like something like the holographic goose on the ship, and ever when is acting up, that's just the goose running around.
Yeah.
We could have had a mini bot running around.
Mini
could have had mini bot.
Mini bot was awesome.
No pets, or pet Jason things.
Hey, it's a bot.
You can have an Orion chef.
Not necessarily a pet. Sea Sword just.
I mean, the Orions would disagree, but we don't own people as pets.
I'm respecting.
Well, the Orions do, but
we want mini bot. We want mini bot.
I want a triple, just one.
If you own Orions, is that respecting their culture? Is that what you're saying?
If anything, I'm the pet in the grand scheme of things.
What does that make us?
It's a health and safety nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, one to the players. In what ways do you think your character has grown in season 2? Cheesy, you. How do you think Remora's grown?
Well, he's an adult now, so he didn't get taller.
Good, right. Well, Peter, what way do you think...
Expand, please.
Listen, boy, if you want to be smart with that.
Well, he has gone from a blood-colded killer and thief to a respected officer of Starfleet. He's definitely, and I'm hoping, I've talked with the GM, and I think we're gonna explore a little more into his backstory in season 3, possibly. But he's lived his whole life without hope. And so having Starfleet, his whole attitude and personality is being completely changed by the pure aspect of he has a symbol of hope to follow. So he's more optimistic. He's learning to be more kind, more merciful, and he's definitely learning to watch his mouth. He hasn't gotten his butt whooped in a while, and the Orion definitely did that.
And unlike your previous character, I don't have to drag your character into Starfleet kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
Basically,
now.
volunteered to do it, poor soul. So, Peter, Xantar, how's he developed?
He's definitely remember to put a shirt on when he gets
I was gonna say.
companies in.
More clothing around Xantar is appreciated.
Yes. But I think considering where he came from was very different. He's not used to such a multicultural space per se, because like there are a few aliens, but there's mostly humans. But of course, he himself is an alien, so it's like learning how they work has been fascinating. Also means that he's been able to study several new diseases that he didn't know that would affect humans, but maybe not him. So this has been an interesting and terrifying experience for him. But it's also meant that...
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Including an accidental engineered plague.
That too, yeah. But it means that he's had to go a lot out of his comfort zone, which has been good for him, because considering the number of boundaries he had up before, I feel he's starting to come out of his shell a bit more. He's becoming more comfortable with the crew, with the environment that he's in. As sterile as he can make it, he understands that he can't eliminate all of them. And he understands it's all in his head, but he's starting to remember it is
Sorry, he
all in
can't
his head.
eliminate all of the germs or all of the crew?
Yes.
Yeah.
Technically, they are the same, since there are germs on the crew. So,
That's true. Yes, I suppose so.
You can get rid of them and just clone money, replicate mini bots and run the shit out.
I mean,
Just wait
we'll
till you
do-
find out about the skin parasites that humans have naturally.
No, that's fascinating for him and terrifying. The cultures he has taken and just been like, my God, how do these humans live?
listen, I'm pretty sure like all aliens are essentially the same. You don't think that there's any biome that something will not inhabit?
Yeah, that's the fascinating part. It's just like you come into new species and you're like, there are hundreds of new diseases here. I've either got a lot of work to do, or I just have to be terrified. So no, he's come, I think, a long way from just being isolated, keeping isolated on himself, either on his old colony or his or the ship saves on before, to this exploration vessel that has expanded his mind and his confidence a lot more. So he's getting there, and he's hopefully going to get some more answers to a lot of questions that he had before. So
I'm sure the tea helped with expanding his mind.
oh yeah, always. And he's always willing to share, just to say.
So, Felix, Marcus, new character for the season. How's he developed throughout?
Good question. I think Marcus has made some decisions. He's met some
He pleads the
interesting
fifth.
people. Essentially, yes. He's met some interesting people. There's a cause to be championed. I think the next season will be really interesting.
I hope it will be. We're playing it. Brian, what ways are Alaska developed through the season?
I think that so at the very beginning of her storyline, her brain got kind of rewritten. And then in the sort of multi-dimensional, there were two episodes that jump out at me. One is the one where we had the little kid living in the, sort of multi-dimensional between the decks. And then finally the one towards the end, the episode where it was our farm in the stars, so to speak, in the Hollywood flashback. I think she mathematically understands that there are other dimensions and that the science where it stands may not be able to perceive all that stuff. And so I think both as an explorer, she was changed by that. She's more, let us say, multidimensionally aware that there can be things that are outside our perception or our ability to understand, but that doesn't mean they're not real. So yeah, she's a bit different after that.
And how's Sharp developed this season?
It's classified.
Yeah, it's classified.
Redacted.
Being a little more open and honest with her first officer rather, because there's been a lot of secrets that she's had to play safe about, and it's been frustrating for her. She's also a bit of spoilery, but she's been trying to adjust and has got a little more comfortable with things like guilt and other emotions that she never had before, that she had to train herself for. So it's been an interesting experience that she's kind of appreciated a little bit, kind of annoyed by, but yeah. I think right now she developed into being a little more frustrated because a year's journey kind of went right back to one giant circle, and she's a little fed up with that, much like Shira is. But hopefully it's in the right direction.
Well, I mean, we don't know it's been a year's journey at this point because we might have moved in time. It might have been several years.
No. It might be several years. Yeah, overall.
Centuries.
No,
definitely
shut
not
up.
centuries.
No, I don't want to hear that.
We're now in the 31st century.
But how about Shira?
What? Oh God.
Yeah, you're not getting away from any questions.
We are now in the 24th and a half century.
I think Shira is. I always maintained that she's a better Starfleet officer than she is an Imperial Guard officer. But she simply doesn't know that yet, and I think she's beginning to find her stride within Starfleet. So second season's been very much about her adapting to Starfleet and beginning to find her own path away from the Imperial Guard and Andorian culture as a whole.
And the captain constantly smacking back the hand, being, "Stop it! You're not an Imperial officer anymore. Stop it."
It's more like, okay, right, fine.
No, you can't just shoot them.
Now I have to look after the captain, who's apparently drunk over here, or is in a coma, and I'm in charge again. And now there's a time loop, and now
Hey, you're the first officer. That is what the entire job is. The captain gets to kind of chill in the background. You get to make all the things work in every
she shouldn't
direction.
be chilling so much that she's
Blah, 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 blah. Look, there's a lot of in between time.
It's a lot is there. Yeah, so I think Kira's just been gradually kind of growing into a role of first officer, and she's kind of learning what it takes to be a captain of a crew, having to try to understand their needs and such, and yeah, I imagine that will continue in future episodes. So we'll go over to some individual questions. I think. I think following on from Panda's statement about Sharp, we'll go to how does Sharp feel about not being able to tell the crew about her mission? That's the best way to
Like
describe it.
any Starfleet officer that has to deal with time travel, incredibly frustrating, and exhausted. Especially when things are working so far against her. Like the overall the large problem is, and something she has to deal with, is that she's facing a foe who doesn't have to regard the temporal prime directive, and is actively willing to change things while she's trying to keep everything the way they're supposed to. And that is such a handicap that has driven her a little crazy in trying to both bend the rules but not bend them too hard. And especially toward the end of the first season, where it's like, Romulans, what are Romulans? And it's kind of like, fuck. Okay, sorry for language, but damn it. Just great. It's already so warped, so messed up that freaking I don't know how to fix this. Or the Andorian Vulcan war that showed up, and it's kind of like, that is so beyond my purview of trying to stop this that, like, what do I do now?
Well, you help the Andorians win. That's what you do in those cases.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Pertinent to the question Zyla brings up in chat, time rules, who needs those?
I mean, when you want your wife and kid to still be your wife and kid in the exact same fashion, you do.
Which wife?
What kid?
There's more wives.
Tons of wives. There's wives littering mostly time, I imagine.
Yeah.
Lillian just has different wife for every century.
The Starfleet officer inside Sharp's head had a family and had made a lot of sacrifices before even time traveling, and now all that's messed up. And especially with the Vulcan Andorian war, it was more doom and gloom. Is like, I can't fix that. I don't know how I could fix that. Especially when she has no word from the 29th century Starfleet or anything. She is quite literally marooned in the 22nd century, so and has to use what she knows without using them too difficult, without using them too liberally. Which is why in the first season, or was it the first season? No, second season. When did the Andorian Vulcan War start?
That's first season.
Oh yeah, so in the first season, when she was like, "Okay, I'm going to pilfer from the dead," it's just like it was her kind of snapping a little bit and being like, "I need to cheat a little bit to, at least catch up and figure something out." And the crew made a right thing of being all like, wow, that is grim and no way in hell. And they made a good point and they stopped her. But it was one of those things where she snapped a little bit. It was like, freaking, I need to catch up. I need to figure out something, anything to fix this. And from what I've heard through Zach, more of that stress is going to come up in things to come. So yeah, it's going to be great.
That sounds it too, yeah. Considering we're talking about the captain, Felix, did Marcus suspect something was up with the captain, and do you think he had an actual clue about what was going on?
I mean, I can only give the cop-out answer. Definitely knew something was going on. I don't think there was any way to predict the monumental amount of bullshit the captain would put on the table. Like, it's
Dude,
like,
she has
I would
warned
not have
you
guessed that.
all. You
Yes,
don't
no, I
want
would
to
not have
know.
guessed that.
You won't believe her. And then she tells you, and everybody's like, I don't believe that. It's bullshit. And it's kind of like, friggin', what did I tell you?
I didn't say I'm not believing it. Also, Marcus could tell you some bullshit. You have like not even scratched the surface what he could tell you.
Goes up to Marcus, plays Uno, like, tell me your secret or pick up 25. Marcus picks up 25.
I'm picking up 205. No, it's like there was definitely something going on with the captains. It's also very, very difficult to talk about it with the hindsight of what it was. But there were like significant mood changes, which we now know is like almost complete personality changes. Definitely some very heavy secrets that like wanted to be told. That she refused to. And I'm not even going into all the coping mechanisms with the multiple wives and the alcohol.
There is a lot of coping going on there.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely clear indicators that the captain was like at the nexus of something going on. Did he have any indication that it was time bullshit? And I will continue to call it bullshit because all time bullshit is bullshit. No, absolutely not. Like, I don't think that was on the table. Really, he's not that well versed in the greater galaxy. Then I mean, there is an argument made. Did he ever meet time travelers? But that's like a lore argument for the entire Star Trek universe. But no, I don't think there were any indications to the exact nature of what was going on.
Brian, do you think Romanov's experience in the Whispers of Tiresias, I'm going to keep pronouncing that differently every time, aren't I? Has heightened or lessened her interest in alien artifacts?
Probably heightened. She would be more interested. Well, again, the Starfleet offers the opportunity to see technology that's not made by human hands and or humanoids, of the known species that have allied together. So yeah, definitely.
So more alien artifacts for Romanov to deal with.
I think if she encounters them, but often, but that's going to be with the caveat of cautious about it. That stuff can get real dangerous real fast. So
good. So no more just picking up random alien artifacts.
No, I think she'll be very procedure. No, she'll pick them up, but she's gonna very careful with them. She's probably gonna start creating some procedures on how you handle that stuff. But she's still figuring that out, she sits in her office and throws a soccer ball against the wall as she's figuring out how do you safely look at alien artifacts. She's probably writing some stuff up about that. She does a lot of writing. Even Shira hasn't seen some of the creative writing. So that's
It's just a list.
I think
it's just a list at the moment. Just don't pick it up.
Yeah, there's
Number
a
two,
list
not
in
sure.
the To Be Starfleet handbook about how to carefully pick up alien artifacts, and there's one line that says "Don't."
Don't. The Romanoff recommendation.
Use a mini tractor beam and do it.
Yes, exactly.
What's it? A tractor beam?
What did you not understand about "Don't"? It's like it's one line.
There's no "don't" for Romanoff. It's just do it carefully.
This will be used in court later.
We told her not to do it. She did it anyway.
What do you want from her?
And
Court
that's
is a
how she
dimensional
ascended.
manifestation that Romanoff avoids. She realizes that's a mathematical possibility, but she's going to try to avoid that one.
And so this is how Romanoff ascends the mortal plane.
Yes, exactly.
Good.
Getting crowded up here.
Peter.
Years.
So so Xantar's been with the crew for a year now. Well, a season, I guess. However long it's been. What does he think of them?
He thinks they're all crazy. Who willingly goes out into the universe and gets into trouble in this way? Willingly.
He did.
Like, what is wrong with you? I know he did. But like, there's something about humans, especially, that he finds extremely unusual. Like Captain Sharp, or Colonel Sharp, I should say. He's terrified of her, for one thing.
There, yeah, that's reasonable.
With good reason.
But has great respect for her and her leadership abilities, and good reason. Also, questioning the whole, how is your mother-in-law a pirate queen? This is weird. Is this normal with humans? I don't know.
I mean, look, it was either get married or die horribly for choosing the wrong patron.
I mean, that's fair.
I think we call it a shotgun wedding in Old Earth.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
He has a great respect for Shira. I think out of everyone in the ship, I think he and Shira have like bonded the best, being one of the few aliens on board. I think he's gone to her to like ask her how to interact with humans, as she's been on the ship longest, as far as he knows. And so I think he's developed a great respect for Shira. Romanoff, he thinks is clinically insane and needs to be probably institutionalized eventually. But at the moment, we need Romanoff to fix the ship. He hasn't had much interaction with Horn, which is a shame, and I think they need more interaction.
So more time for Xantar and Horn to hang out,
bond, get to know each other, that sort of thing.
Zach, take note.
Yeah. And then Remora, he's just a little bit proud
sauna
of.
scene.
No.
Maybe. Will be a first. Wait.
It isn't even a sauna, it's just an exposed energy conduit where he just puts water on.
Like, this vapor is like burning my skin physically, but never mind. I'm enjoying it. And Remora, he has a great respect for, in the terms that he's proud of how far Remora's come from being like a pirate and is working his way up to being like a Starfleet officer. He sees him as like a little brother, I think. And we'll see what the future science officer will be like. So,
moving on to little brother Remora. Cheesy. How is Remora enjoying life aboard Aegis, not having to be a pirate, and is Starfleet living up to his expectations?
He's definitely enjoying life aboard a different vessel. I mean, a pirate ship's a pirate ship. You don't have some of the luxuries that a Starfleet vessel would. He does like not being like motivated by the threat of violence and more motivated by just a code of honor. I think the worst thing being on the ship for him, though, is the constant stick to schedule.
And reports.
And reports and paperwork, yeah, all that stuff. He's not used to the business part, but he does enjoy the other parts that make Starfleet a good place to work for.
I mean, to be fair, I think that's probably a good description of a lot of Starfleet personnel. They like, the discovery and being on a starship. They don't like having to fill out the reports and, all the bureaucracy that goes with it.
Yeah.
Who enjoys paperwork?
Bureaucrats, Hermes Conrad.
Yes, I mean, it depends what kind of paperwork, I guess. I mean, give me a spreadsheet. I'm quite happy to delve through numbers and stuff.
Oh, get out!
Yes, out.
Be gone!
I mean, the personnel or the Starfleet officer in Sharp's head really loves paperwork. She's actually her most calming thing when she can is being a quartermaster. So
that is a lot of paperwork.
That's a ton of paperwork. Sharp doesn't understand why. It's kind of like, no, that's really boring. You have a boring life, but whatever.
Steph, newest member of the crew, got to play an Orion Queen. How much did you enjoy voicing her?
That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that immensely, especially because I like anything to where I can actually be slightly over the top, but also a little bit evil and torture the cast along with Zach. So
especially
fun.
Zach.
Yeah.
Zach, if you need help, blink twice.
I'm
in
just.
the future, it'd be more fun because then I can actually torture him along with you guys because I definitely hear the complaints on that end.
It's better as a group effort.
I'm just noticing the pattern here. She cameos as a player with she cameos as a character with an outsized power or capacity to affect the story, then goes on to regular cast. Not a session later.
Yeah, I think
that is a pattern.
Yeah,
for
I
those
think
who don't
you'll
know,
finally go on too far.
Steph did cameo in a game which we played.
USS Perrin.
Yes, Perrin, which obviously was not on, which was before the this Twitch streams. And Steph was Q, so just the power of the god there in your hands.
Yeah, I'm not sure anything's gonna beat Q. That was way too much fun.
So you know the answer now. Q who? Steph.
Dolek just wanted to use photon torpedoes. That's all he wanted.
I think we can have some questions to the GM. I say I think. I mean, we are because I'm in charge of this. So some questions now to the GM. Zach, did we players ever do something completely unexpected during this season?
Well, yes. A few times.
Everything.
A few times, actually.
I can think of one. Think of one that I could feel Zach like pulling his hair out. But me and Cheesy were so determined.
Yeah. No, there. So, one specific moment came in, I think, episode. I want to say it was episode 10, the On the Horns episode, where, for some context for those in the audience, Aegis has spent the year on its expedition and is looking for a place to resupply. Cheesy's character, Remora, as a Suliban, has a sense of like colonies and like starports that his people operate. He's been a spacefarer for some time, so that that news kind of came to him, following up rumors and whatnot. They find such a port, and lo and behold, a foe that has been chasing them, it seems, for a couple of episodes, or at least has made an appearance in two of the past, 2 or 3 of the past 4 episodes, shows up and is actually there in force. My expectation, and the way I had set the scene, was that this station was, for all intents and purposes, lost. It was being torn apart, and that the only saving grace was that the ships that were there were mostly docked, so they weren't going to be able to immediately overwhelm the ship. There's just a screen of fighters that would be, or those kind of shuttle pods that would be enough to dissuade them. The captain decides, no, we're charging in, and I'm going to beam myself and the Suliban helmsman. We're getting on board this vessel right now so as to help out people, which basically would have
it was to cause a distraction, so that way we can grab evacuees, and then you guys could hopefully pick us up.
That is the purest of wishful thinking that I've ever heard, and before they could get down.
Sharp planned on just hijacking a Cassini ship if she could.
Sharp probably would have been a dessert at that point.
Yeah. Who knows?
But so I had to have the Kazinti. I had to have one of their cruisers basically launch a full nuclear salvo at the Aegis, stinging it quite a bit. Like that left some breaches there afterwards, and giving
you rolled really well.
Yeah, just giving really everyone the excuse to escape,
I could hear you like throw a sigh of relief and deflate with those really good rolls. You're like, thank God.
Yeah, most definitely. No, the player spontaneity is, I think, essential for this, and sometimes the challenge is not per se to not necessarily to try and re-rail the whole situation, or like to get that on there, but to do as much yes-anding as possible. That was maybe the one scenario where it would not have worked.
Did we ever do anything that we were supposed to do?
I mean, I think that the season pretty much worked out as it was meant to, I think.
So, following on from that, did you have I guess you had an overarching plot for the season, but how much was developed as the season progressed?
Yeah, so this is actually an interesting question, and one where I have to say I can't take full credit, because season 2 originally, when I was going back and conceiving of this, I had a much more different plot in mind. It was actually largely going to stay in the same realm as season 1 did, with the idea being that we would kind of deepen in some of those mysteries. We might revisit a few places, but introduce a few other characters, developments as things went. about midway. I think it was about midway through season 1, maybe a little afterwards.
No, it was about midway.
Okay, yeah. But the captain started. So much as it came up in some of the sessions, there were allusions to the expedition back at that time. Panda was pitching me on the idea of like a long-range exploratory mission. So, like, in order to give her character a slightly different means of trying to address the situation that she found herself in. Thus,
I will say. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were finished. My bad.
Oh yeah, thus why we ultimately settled where we did at the end of season 2. And there, I don't think it's too far out for me to say, Panda, there was a heavy Odyssey inspiration to this, or like
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And so there were a number of allusions to that throughout the season. Famous, or well, I went more a little famous to kind of obscure that slightly. The whole by guile or by might is a reference to when Odysseus and his party are trapped in the cave on the Isle of Polyphemus. With the Cosmozoa kind of being the sheep that the crew uses to escape, and the idea of them being trapped and having to like navigate against a foe that keeps them contained. On the shores of Oesia references the Isle of Calypso. On the Horns is shortened a bit of On the Horns of a Dilemma, kind of the being caught between Scylla and Charybdis, which, given where that episode is, like meant
the captain even referenced it too.
Yep. And that that obviously exacted a loss of itself, or in and of itself. Then I believe Acheron actually being the name of the pond or the lake at the end of River Styx, which Odysseus has to cross. So that's like that was the major theme that kind of ran through, and obviously, I think that while we didn't necessarily, when I conceived of the expedition, I actually planned on it going a little bit further, or I planned on one story past what became Acheron. Circumstances meant that we needed to make that the capper for now.
I will say that halfway through season 1, as I already kind of had some general ideas of what this character was going to be with the help of Zach, Zach pitched what season 2 is going to be, and I actually kind of disagreed a little bit, if only because I felt that
it disappeared there, Panda?
Yeah.
Panda? Okay. Is it?
We might have lost the captain there.
Okay.
The first time.
Oh dear, there may be some.
But we gained someone else, apparently. Yeah.
Yep. A different cosmic entity is having input. Yes, this is a microphone. You're coming back. You're back now.
Oh yes, you're back. You're back.
Yeah. So I just had a blackout. Where did I cut off? If I cut off, you guys hear me at all?
You disagreed.
I disagreed, if only because, as I told Zach at the time, Sharp wouldn't want to be just in the background. No, I don't want to hear you. Yeah, no, unplug you. But Sharp wouldn't be on the defensive the entire time. She would try to fix, especially a year and a half at that point, or no, 2 years and a half of being marooned in time. She would try to figure out how to fix it before it got too late, especially after the Andorian Vulcan War. So she would be throwing an expedition, or even possibly even leaving Starfleet to try to find one of these non-linear beings, which she did consider Q, and then man was like, no, too risky. I'm not that ambitious. I'm not that desperate yet. But yeah. So I pitched it to Zach, and Zach, I think you were a little hesitant, and then you warmed to the idea the longer you thought about it, right?
Yeah, it's basically thinking of how best to yes and the thing, how to make it work, and to get the creative juices flowing. And this all happened with enough time to where I think that we made the story work.
Yeah, we had a full year, so it wasn't like we're running the gun on it. And I just gave like a very basic outline of where she wanted to go, the child general theme, because in many ways, Sharp / Greystoke is Odysseus, so very much so. So I was like, oh well, we'll just make it Aussie themed. Yeah. Sorry for taking over your question, Zach.
No. I have to, credit where credit's due on the conception of the season, and the ideas you brought forward gave me like a lot of room to operate creatively there.
Yeah.
See, I guess that's something you have now in common with Matt Damon, too. Of course, be starring as Odysseus in the Odyssey in.
I have so many things.
It's good. I'm sure it's going to be a great, wonderful adaptation to.
I think it's going to be anything to watch, but accurate, no.
What is this accuracy you speak of? We don't do things like that.
Good description of Aegis, I suppose.
Or accurate, or
fun to watch, hopefully.
Oh yeah.
I guess as well as pushing a particular plot line, Panda, you got behind the GM screen for one episode.
Yes, I did.
Whispers of Tiresias.
Yes.
So, where did you get the idea for that episode from?
As many have already kind of referenced, Far Amongst Stars. I also got it from what is Picard's little journey? I also got it from Tapestry. I also got it from some more or less some of the typical action sci-fi sort of genre themes of near-death experiences overall. And my very huge that I enjoy very much is cosmic horror. So messing around with somebody's head is definitely fun. Especially when they have no idea what's going on. It was stressful. It was really, really stressful. I was having panic attacks the entire time. I'm glad everybody loves it though. I am in awe about the amount of people who just say it's their favorite episode, because I felt in my end it was a mess. But I'm glad everybody loves it.
So what was it like running the game live on Twitch?
A nervous mess. Zach had to basically pull me from the ledge a few times during session, because I'm just like, fuck, it's not working. Or god damn it, I forgot to write the entire script. Okay. Nope, I'll just do it live. So thankfully I had written out the idea with Zach beforehand, so I just used that overall and just worked with it as I went. I am very thankful that all the players were open to something a little more on rails, because it very much was on rails. I don't think it could be otherwise, given the structure or given why I wanted to go with that.
Yeah, I agree. Otherwise, it's something that would have had to be quite on rails to to do?
I love that Zach gave me permission to use the plot points that I wanted to use. Because I definitely was a little indulgent there. Zach, did you? So, side question here: do you have any plans regarding the artifact beforehand, or you're just like, I don't know, here you go?
I mean, not exactly. The what is it here? The well, I think that there was a narrow bit that I had in mind, or like one scene that I requested towards the end, and that's about where I took back over.
Yeah,
and kind of wanted to.
But I mean, like we talked about what that thing meant overall. But I was wondering if you had any plans before I sort of snatched up that plot point.
So I don't remember anything that was going to come up specifically in Aegis as pertains to it, or excuse me, such that I was thinking of doing another story that would involve that in season 2 and really give Brian an opportunity to synthesize other items there. I didn't have that fully conceived of yet, or I wasn't in a stage where I could put it fully to outline. But I know I generally wanted to advance.
Well, neither did Romanoff. I mean, she wings a lot of that shit.
Yeah, yeah. And I figured that we were at some point I was going to give it more of an opportunity to do something, but yeah, I think that the way that it worked out, I think we hit a lot of I think we covered a lot of bases, and I think if Romanoff commits more time to it, then she may be able to come to some interesting conclusions with the tools. It may even be something over the course of this next game when we resume, if she decides to pursue that.
Hint.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's always, if she has the time, and she tries to keep the ship, running like a clock, mainly because if it's running well, that does give her a little extra time to invest in her research, technology.
I would not be surprised if on occasion you had slight mood swings or started speaking ancient Vulcan a little bit. But going back to the GMing of that session, it also required a lot of resources. I mean, I quite literally vaporized a shuttle, or at least to the point of being vaporized. I remember you guys were like, "Can we recover?" I'm like, "No, that thing became a lawn dart from orbit. It's gone." And then nearly killing Romanov, because look, as much as your protagonist being lawn darted in a shuttle is probably not very healthy.
No.
It requires a little bit of a check over by Dr. Xantar afterwards.
That's right.
But I'm glad everybody was very into it, that were very helpful. I'm appreciative of everybody who helped out doing voice lines and just understanding where I wanted to go overall. And I'm really very embarrassed and happy that everybody had really love it, really episode, because I keep on looking at, I'm having a bit of imposter syndrome. I keep looking at episode and be like, oh, it could be so much better. I kept on things better, but no.
Everybody has imposter syndrome, right? To an extent, we always don't know what we're fully doing, and especially when you're GMing, so you have to allow for an organic aspect to it, because the players may take it in a totally different direction, and you got to be prepared for that.
And I might have a few ideas for next season, but I want to see where Zach is setting things up for season 3 before I throw anything at Zach. But yeah, that's my answer.
And did anything unexpected happen during the game?
Oh man, there were several times where, despite despite the rails I set up and the signs, Brian did something else, and I'm like, oh shit. Okay, well,
Yeah, I do that in a lot of games.
Never trust players.
Yeah. I go off the rails in another game too, once in a while. Usually the right way, though.
But aside from that, yeah, I mean, nothing that I can't see that I question if it was just my anxiety screaming at me about it. I think overall I went fine. I think again, everything went well. I think the more unexpected things were just my poor planning. In terms of like I could have been more structured with it, but I'm glad it all worked out in the end in the direction I wanted it to. So yeah.
I thought it's a fine episode. Very good. And you did a good job.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Zach, what was it like handing over the responsibility of being a GM?
A new experience. I've done it only a handful of times for the campaigns I've run. Thus far, once for almost each of the campaigns, and definitely for the both the Broken Sword and Aegis campaigns have one instance of a player temporarily taking over. This one was maybe I really did enjoy the story quite a lot, and I liked my little turn as a player, though I wish I had refined a couple more things on my end and got some things figured out. But it was only the main stress, if anything, came from it was just that I was on a clock that year and making sure that I got us to a satisfying conclusion. And I am by no means one that can speak easily, because anyone that has been following this, and certainly the players know, season 1 was a bit of a mess at times. There were moments that the story dragged a lot, which is not to dissuade anyone from trying the season, just going back and watching any of the things. But I've had to work on pacing. I'm frankly proud of what I pulled off pacing for season 2. But I was.
Well, you had a churn of players as well going through.
It was very well done. Yeah.
There was always a bit of concern of okay, how we're making good progress. We're making good progress. How many sessions is this going to be? But there's always a bit of worry. But it wrapped up in ample time for our purposes. So I was grateful to play, grateful to retake the helm, as it were.
So we've got a question from, was it Reddit?
Yes,
we have a Reddit thread. Who knew?
I dropped something in the Star Trek Adventures RPG thing, and I did get an anonymous message. They requested not to be identified.
So Anonymous asks, since y'all are 2 seasons in, what adventure should your Star Trek or tabletop curious friend watch? So Zach, where do you think is a good place should someone watch? Aegis?
I mean, if you want to sell someone on checking out the rest of the campaign, it kind of depends on where you're coming from. If you are an absolute completionist, you can of course go back to Fallen Star as a fun, as an interesting sort of pilot. It obviously gets very different cast-wise fairly quickly.
Yes, I think I'm literally the only player left from that very first episode.
Now, if you're
you survived, Craig.
Season 1, if you're looking at some fun standalones that give you an idea of some of the more interesting places the campaign goes, or things that are disjointed somewhat from the main storyline, Immersion is good. That's kind of our holodeck without the holodeck episode. The Groundskeeper, I think, is actually still one of my favorites. That was Panda's first episode of the series, or like the immediately after the pilot episode. It's almost a second pilot, and it's kind of got a fun, more like, in some ways, it kind of reminds me of Caretaker, honestly, without sending you halfway across the galaxy. But there's one of those 2 episodes. There are a couple fun horror episodes. The Expedition is a bit more serialized, but I do rather. If you had to skip if you didn't get the first season for whatever reason, then watch season 2 and just go from Changing of the Guard, and you will have fun pretty much from there on.
Naturally, I would say any episode where there's Andorians in. Multiple Andorians. Obviously.
Craig is very pro-blue.
Yes. You gotta have good Andorian representation.
You gotta.
Do you though?
Yes, you do. Cheesy. What moment surprised you the most during the season?
Oh man, I have to go back to, I didn't think that mommy-in-law was gonna pop out of nowhere. That threw me for a loop.
Yes. So Sharp's history coming back to bite us in the arse is a nice running theme for the season.
Yeah,
It's my favorite show.
Oh no, the consequences of my actions.
No, the consequences of her actions.
Ah.
And Peter, what moment surprised you the most?
Surprised me the most. I think it was like Zach's introduction of the Guardian. Like that is an old reference to like the original series, so that was quite nice to actually bring that in. Anytime Zach brings like something like that in, is always fun, and it's always a nice surprise.
It was either that or Flint, and I couldn't find Flint.
Fair.
Yes, introduction of Carl and then who Carl was. That was very good.
Oh, it kills
Those people.
Felix, what was the most surprising moment for you?
I have to say something stupid.
Yes, you do.
Do it.
Santa's diplomatic incident. Like, I kind of miss slightly overworked Peter, because you could clearly tell he had so much fun, but also the brain was like firing on one cylinder at most. Which is it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's capitalism. But it was just brilliant.
Yes. We need Xantar more clothed, though, I think.
Okay.
And there will be plenty of him, all clothed, I promise.
Yes,
mostly.
I don't mind Xantar being there. Xantar can be there as much as he wants, so long as he's wearing clothing, preferably covering his everything.
Yeah,
At the very least, a dress uniform towel.
Yes. If he's taking the tea and it's taking him too far, he'll at least have the towel, I promise.
Yes. Just hopefully placed correctly and not tied around his hair or something.
Yeah.
What, Captain? I'm wearing a towel. You asked me to.
Brian, what was the most surprising moment for you in the season?
I like the Tholian episode in terms of surprises. I thought it was pretty cool because and I know as a GM, I stay away sometimes from the Folians. They're hard to wrap your head around. They appear in just a few episodes, but they're so interesting. So I like what Zach did with them, and making them a part of it. And I thought, well, yeah, no, that comes up in Enterprise. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Panda, what was your most surprising moment?
There's a lot of moments. I think the Andorian Vulcan War was definitely a surprising moment there. I think surprising us with the siege cannons that the Andorians had was also a big surprise. I did not expect to actually be a real thing. A lot of season 2 I sort of helped Zach with, so there weren't too many surprises there. Xantar. Yeah. Xantar was definitely
Xantar's always surprising.
Xantar is always surprising, especially when he comes into a diplomatic meeting, with just the shower towel.
He will always try to be. Surprising, I mean.
Yeah, just general, like a lot of the first season was a very surprising. The surprising one, which is also the one that drove Zach crazy, was the Xenti feeding off of that station was surprising, and I was like, I don't know how to fix this. I can't simply run away either. That was surprising, and yeah.
And Zach, what for you was the most surprising thing about the season?
Well, I mean, the station, the attempt to actually save the station was that did catch me a little off guard. Otherwise, I'm just going to say I delighted in all the small and little surprising ways that the characters interacted, and that that you all built up the narrative in fun ways. There's always going to be some bit of player spontaneity that provides some entertainment, and there's no shortage of goofy moments. That's pretty much all of the clips that I take for the game. For anyone on the Twitch that wants to peruse that, there was whether it was the towel incident. I don't think I clipped that. There's a Xantar T incident, which was helped by a technical error that was perfectly timed on my part to make that happen. Then I'm trying to remember. There are some other very, very good ones, or very good moments. The Romanov developing a surprising Christmas obsession, and of course, let us not forget the despicable crimes of the captain and what she does with her coffee.
Oh God, yeah, the coffee.
Nothing is wrong with it. Nothing is wrong with it.
That's right. Zach, you have to clip the towel incident now and add it to that library. It must be preserved for prosperity.
Prosperity.
I can't say the word today.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's already seared into our collective memories, no matter how hard we try to remove it.
We mention it all the time, so
yes,
even the characters mention it all the time.
Unfortunately.
Can I throw in a brief question here?
Of course.
Craig,
yes.
How do you feel regarding Shira and Romanov's bromance? Maybe more? Where do you think that's going?
yeah, so something which I think has just been gradually brewing away for a while. Yeah, I've been enjoying it. You I am a sucker for having a bit of romance with my RP characters. So yeah, so I think it's there's no surprise to me that it's gonna Romanov seems a weird and fun character and probably stands out a little bit more than others do in the at least at the
Do you
beginning of the.
do you think it's going to remain a bromance, or it's going to be something you think it'd be something more down the line?
I suspect it'll move to something more, maybe.
Yeah, probably. I don't think Romanov saw that one coming. But it was also that, throughout these episodes, she's had to expand her idea of how things work, and one being a Starfleet officer in the field, you're going to interact with a lot of other cultures and alien societies. But on top of that, especially after the trans-dimensional episode, yeah, no, there's, she's not any limits or definitions that might have held her back or might have been remnants of her early life are probably, just not there anymore. So yeah,
Cool.
I think
Yeah.
that can.
I think it's also finding the time for that to develop, because the past few episodes were very much stress.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
For everyone involved.
also
Of-
Shira nearly lost Romanov, like absolutely nearly lost
yes,
Romanov.
yes, that was yeah, that got Shira very, very worried. Can't have her losing her favorite human.
that's right.
How would Shira feel the knowledge of Romanov now has a little Vulcan inside her head?
Yes, well, not everyone can be perfect.
Well, the other element of that is it ties nicely because, see, she's a follower of Susmana, and has been training with a Vulcan since she was a teenager. So,
You're not making it better.
so yeah, but that's a big part. That Vulcan probably helped her get on the track that led her to Starfleet too. So he was a teacher at the school that she attended, a private school. So, that was, probably the first time she started. I think for her now, it's not so much that it was the Vulcan culture, it was that she was exposed to different ways of thinking. And when the campaign started, wow, that just exploded because Zach kept throwing, some unusual stuff at her where she'd always have to kind of reconceive how she's viewing the universe.
You mean being part of Starfleet?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say key to that was that early episode with the little girl, right? That was, that was one where, oh yeah, this hatch in engineering, yeah, went to another place, So yeah, that's all Alice in Wonderland level stuff, and but she views that through a scientific point of way, but she's had to embrace more intuition too. So she's not like a devotee. She's not somebody who worships the Vulcan culture, but she knows that it has something to offer, in terms of its discipline and thinking and stuff like that. So
Vulcans
Fair.
are very good at thinking. They are. They got
They are.
lots of. They're they're basically computers. They're robots, really. Okay. So, Steph, are you looking forward to returning next season in a full capacity?
Well, I was, and then I heard the discussion on how you treat science officers, and now I'm wondering if I need to plan for other things.
No, you get to be miserable and just kind of just look at everybody with pity.
Our science officers are treated very well. They are given lots of science stuff to study.
Yeah, I think you should be more afraid of just how close I am to the GM and what we have in store for people if things go off the rails. There have already been discussions on what happens if something goes wrong in the lab.
Quarantine.
Yes, there's a lot of weird stuff in the lab, I think. Especially after
Yes,
a certain
heard,
Vulcan.
I've heard there is a lab
Season
fridge
1.
too that is also stereotypical. So,
Well, but the science team are very well treated and taken care of.
By whose definition?
By the first officer and head of security's definition. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's their version of that's terrible. Seward would say so. And I kind of partially imagine that's why Stewart often was, delegated to taking care of any weird, outrageous shit that the command crews did. Meanwhile, Mjolnir can just, or Mjolnir, the lead science officer could just, go about her actual science things and let her secretary, as it were, take care of all the shit.
See? Very well treated.
No.
Very well treated. No. Yeah, they are doing a fabulous job. And they've got to explore whole new areas of space for humans.
May the GM have mercy on all of us.
It's fine. It's fine. You have a more quietly violent captain who is more militaristic than anything else. So, hey, she'll give you all the science and diplomacy stuffs because you could probably do better than she can.
That's not comforting.
There's a lot of delegation. There's a lot of delegation in the role, and you delegate to your experts. And science and chief science officer is expert in science.
Look, we're all going to die. You just need to make that purple light green to fix it.
Figure out what this goo does.
It makes this weird blue sort of noise. No, blue noise, not blue color, blue noise. We don't know what that means. Figure it out.
Are you
mentally
sure,
mapping out where all of the coffee stations are located on the entire ship?
What was that, Zach?
I was just about to make the red dwarf joke. Are you sure that you want me to change? You wanted to change colors? I'll have to change the bulb.
Cheesy. Rako, one of the ex-pirates that Remora brought over to the Aegis, died in late on in the season. How do you think this will affect Remora going forward?
He's going to be a lot more protective of the people he cares about, for sure. And he's definitely going to reflect on the people that he's loved and missed from his life and probably try to reconnect.
So you think he's going to try to reach out to people from his past?
I think so. He's lost a lot the past season from seeing a lot of his race being used for food. Thanks, Zach. And watching his best friend die. Thanks, Zach. I think emotionally he's gonna try and reconnect with what he's lost before he loses everything.
Well, just thanks, Zach.
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah. It's what I do.
Peter, in the episode "The Unhappy Ones," Xantar comes across a viral agent that's similar to the one that killed his family. Has that brought up any unresolved feelings?
Oh yes, very much so. That is something that he is going to be looking into further on because of similar events in his life, which I believe is explained to maybe Remora. I can't remember now. It's been too long. But I can't remember. I'm assuming that the captain might have, or the colonel read something on him. I don't know.
Captain, yes.
Probably
I could
Captain.
be wrong. Yeah. But no. Considering that he's had something similar happen to him in his life previously, spoilers. Yeah, he's very interested to see where that's gonna go. And Zach and I have talked about like some options on this, so we've come up with some interesting ideas. So I look forward to see what Zach does to put those in place.
Felix, at times Marcus has often been the calming voice of reason on the ship. Did you originally see him fitting into that role?
Kinda, but maybe not the way that question is phrased. Like, I don't think that he aims to calm. He tries to control the situation as much as possible. And apparently people need a lot of calm and organization. I don't know if that's reflective of anything, not looking at anyone in particularly. But maybe.
Yeah, Mjolnir.
Someone's gonna get science exploded in the next season. I know it.
Yeah, it just struck me that Marcus generally tries to help the captain, or I guess in Shira's case, when she was in charge, the commanding officer of the ship, just not to boil over.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't think it's really that much of a giveaway that the face Marcus puts on is very, very well crafted. It's almost like he's portraying an archetype of whatever role he put himself in or he is put in. And I hope there's some opportunities to break towards the character beneath in the next season. But that's the calming and controlling influence that has been displayed in the last season.
I'm sure that many scenes with Xantar in the sauna will help develop that.
Yes.
Yeah, and then Santa just floats in space and no one knows how it happened, and that's just things that happen. No
Don't
one
talk
could have
about
known.
Things that happen, yes.
It was unavoidable, really. Why can he breathe in space? He's not allowed to do that.
Oh, this is new.
No, I want more interactions with the characters. It's it's like we mentioned this before, like there's almost always so much going on that it's sometimes hard to fit in some character interactions because the planet is exploding, sir. We are running out of time. Okay. I guess that takes precedence.
Yes, that tends to be important.
Yeah, so
we need to get down to the surface to talk to some weird time alien. Oh, and there's also multiple fleets chasing Aegis. So Yes. Yeah. Bit of a time crunch situation.
Neil, Nick, figure out how this time crunch works.
Do I need to separate both of you?
Possibly.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Steph. I'm just having fun. Poking.
Oh no, I fully expect this to continue. People being mean to the science officers until they get science.
No one's been mean to the science officers.
I'm just keeping a list.
And checking it twice.
Which captain
Yes, but
has
not
been
for what
naughty
you
or nice?
No, I think
Science
that's
officers
something
coming to get you.
Unironically, I think that's something like Star Trek is. I know this is like a somewhat utopian story, but listen, the military and security will always dunk on the science nerds, and vice versa. Like, I think that will just always happen.
It is the natural.
It is the way.
I mean, the utopia is how the way society is structured. People are still people.
Yeah, absolutely. You see that all over, the various storylines.
Yeah, and Marcus would really appreciate it if people could stop being people. Like, we've tried this for a couple thousand years; it's clearly not working.
Brian, go ahead, Steph.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Brian, what did you think of the Romanov-centric episode that Panda put together for you?
Well, it wasn't what I expected, but it fit the character quite well, in that she has become this engineer who's also, in a sense, a scientist, but what she studies is what fascinates her is archaeo tech, right? So, that means, in this case, having gone into a situation that was, connected to all that, but not in a way you'd expect. So I liked it because it was very much, and Zach sort of set this pace with the alien child episode, where she's actually exploring this through temporal spatial anomalies, which, a lot of that wouldn't be in the reports because she just doesn't want to get bounced out of the service. So a lot of the truth of those situations, and what happened to her would have only been reported to Sharp verbally.
You're not even sure if those things are actually real outside of
yeah, right, and therefore she wouldn't report them. But here's the way she interprets that: if your brain encounters something that's so outside of any other reference point, perception happens in the brain according to the biology, right? Therefore, she'd be the first to kind of realize, wow, this could just be the way my brain is interpreting all this.
I mean, let me point out how much damage that Romanov suffered from that likelihood. Most certainly concussion. Your leg existed in a figurative sense. Your back probably had multiple contusions. Your nerves were on fire. You were freezing to death. You had blood loss. You had. Am I missing anything really from that kind of fall?
Right.
So, like, you were suffering from so much pain that delusions. You're so much pain in addition to hyperthermia. Like, all that could be fake. All that could just been your body compensating and trying to put you in la la land, as opposed to the absolute insane pain that you were probably feeling in every moment.
But she finds it's fascinating that there's a possibility that there was an element of it that was potentially real and connected to the interactions with, the artifacts. And so she doesn't rule that out. She's aware of all those things, and that's why a lot of that stuff didn't appear in the reports. Probably only Sheer has heard the full story. And that she'd almost have to con out of her, because Romanoff knows she was bounced, out on, after interacting with an alien artifact before, and it laid her up for nearly a year. She had to learn to walk again, to speak again, all these things. So she's very aware of that biological side of it. But what probably afterwards captured her attention is, what if there was an element of alien communication going on, and this is just how my brain interpreted it, right? So that stuff probably fascinates her.
How does Sheer feel about that?
Just another interesting aspect of this weird human.
Fair enough.
And
hey, she's pretty enough. I'll deal with it.
But Vulcan mysticism might say, hey, don't completely discount those things, But that would be the more extreme side of and human mysticism too. She's probably very much now looking into that kind of stuff.
We no longer have psionics anymore in the crew, do we?
No. But she'd be quietly looking into a lot of those things as sort of an after reaction to what happened to her, So, and human mysticism, use of psychedelics, physically altering your body to change your perceptions. This stuff would be things that young Romanoff might not have taken as seriously, but older Romanoff, now she's experienced some things, right? Which it's happened more than once. Either she has a deeply embedded brain issue, which she doesn't think the docs wouldn't have spotted, right? The tech is pretty good for that kind of stuff, even in this time period. So, yeah, but she also would be very aware that there's a lot of reports, and it comes from multiple different societies and species, that people have these kinds of experiences. So that fascinates her, in a way. He's not judging it at all. So just like, okay, that's what I experienced. And it might or might not have been real, and a percentage of it might have been something else. So
cool.
And Panda, is Sharp looking forward to family reunion with wives and mother-in-law?
So let me straighten things out a little bit. So the wives things wasn't just because of the now two personalities dealing with time travel and whatnot. Her Orion wife was supposed, in the original timeline, was supposed to be just this femme fatale, estranged shotgun wife that's in the middle, far out in the stars. That would occasionally harass her or just be a thorn on her side. Now, given all the time shenanigans, trying to protect her, now she's there all the time. So, and it's one of the things that the time traveler that's now in Sharp's head realized that was the thing. It was like, frick, okay, now I have two marriages. Great. What is going on with
each
you?
Other.
Yeah, what is going on with you? That's a thing now. She doesn't want to be in a poly relationship, but this person apparently was. So, trying to maintain that. As to wanting to meet them again, she loves both her wives very much. At least as much as she could. And as to the mother-in-law, no. Her mother-in-law is like the boogeyman, and most definitely like Zach, do you think the line has been crossed, or just I will regret it regardless?
I mean, I think of
How much of being her daughter's favorite pet is their allowance of all the shit that's happened so far?
Well, let's see. I can say as much that, well, this will not be the biggest pain that you have to feel through the rest of the campaign. The consequences of her actions, and very particularly, coming through the escalation arc, what has gone on with Visenya may still be felt. There may be some opportunity in that, but there's still threads there, of course.
Yeah, it to more or less, the queen didn't bother with Sharp was because her daughter really loved Sharp, and thus didn't want to cause any issue. But since I mess around with my mother-in-law's business, that's now changes things. So yeah, depends on how much of a thorn I've ended up being, I guess. So hopefully I can negotiate my way into no longer being on the shit list. But on the other hand, she is a good 9-10 months away, so I have some time to figure it out. Maybe.
Who knows? Who knows?
You started out so confident and then went, it's like, maybe.
Nah.
Also, with a spook of a wife and then the other wife being a pirate princess, there might be other troubles with them. They might
surely not.
They might be up to some shenanigans.
Who could have guessed that?
I have to step away for about 10 minutes.
Okay. Zach, what was your favorite plot of the season?
I mean, I just really liked how the expedition came out as a general principle, and particularly I found Acheron very satisfying. Going over the whole season, I would say, subplot-wise, I very much enjoyed bringing the Khazinti back as a running villain and kind of paying back the Grand Huntress consequences of the season 1 episode. So that's been nice. I was very happy too with how the time loop episode, Another Day in the Service, and the Weave of Eternity, the mid-season episode, that those two just came together very, very well. I suppose while I'm at it, and once again acknowledging our friend in the chat, one Zyla OXO, as well as Cheesy, I am glad that so many people I'm glad we were able to get everyone who we could to come together for, what was it, the Project Panic 2-shot? The short thing went early in season 2 when we had to bridge a gap in the schedule, or we had a lot of people on vacation or otherwise unavailable, so we did the lower decks type episode. One other small thing that I also have to acknowledge, it kind of got very passing mention at one point, but I have to say I'm very glad. I'll put a pin in it for a moment because I think it might come up later as well.
Okay. So, what is everyone's favorite NPC? Villain or friendly? Or, I guess, neutral? I'll go from the GM, actually. Zach, who's your favorite one?
I mean, I love bringing Creighton around. He's in the opening video for a reason, and he's the easiest voice. I think I worked on him a ways back for what is it? I worked on that voice a ways back for back in my competitive public speaking days. Another life, another time. Otherwise, it'd be hard for me to say as far as other voices I've done. Racco, I guess, was the other kind of fun NPC to play at times. Like, Cheesy gave me some room to maneuver there. Carl was fun. I like Carl. Oh yes, Minibot, of course. How could I forget Minibot? No way that we can't ignore everyone's favorite robot. And as a matter of fact, there. Let's see.
Panda, who's your favorite NPC, villain, hero?
I really loved. No, it's a different NPC, different campaign. Like there's one I really like of Zach's, but it has not been in here. I really loved Crichton. Crichton is great. I've certainly loved pretty much like all of the NPCs that he's thrown at us here and there. Oh gosh, who's the not Lithanite, golden short guy that always screws things up?
Hello, I'm Noth.
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 Yeah.
Yes,
Noth.
Noth.
Oh. And it wasn't Ithanite. But yes, the merchant
Ithanite.
from the first season.
Okay.
Yes, I remember. How could anyone forget Noth?
That almost got us into some trouble. Thankfully, no pets allowed. It remains as such.
One day, Sharp will be in a coma, and Shira will lift that ban, and we'll have wonderful pets aboard the ship. And then we'll need to build a new ship because there'll be tribbles everywhere. Brian. Oh, well, is Brian here?
He's still away.
Still away. Okay. Felix then. Who's your favourite NPC?
It's a difficult question. Why would you ask such a thing?
Because it's a Q&A. So I need to ask questions.
I probably have to take Crichton.
Answer them.
A good point.
Probably have to take Crichton, yeah.
It's good to be the king, sirs.
Yay, Crichton.
Classic for a reason.
Classic. Absolute classic. Yes. Peter, who's your favourite?
NPC wise, it probably has to be Crichton as well.
Oh, Crichton's leading the way here.
Yeah. I mean, Minibot is great, and I used to love Racco, but you know.
Yeah. He's gone now.
Yeah. Well, you know, space-time continuum is what it is. Yeah, it's Star Trek. You never know. Could new Genesis him, right?
I'm sure that can happen. Yeah. or like come to a rift in space time, and that leads through to a universe where Racco survived.
Yeah, and he comes over to our universe with a baby or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. Jeezy, who's your favorite NPC?
It's a tie between Minibot and Chief Justice.
Chief Justice, of
Chief
course.
Justice. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Holdover from one of our former players.
He's the coolest. He is the coolest.
He's so cool.
I guess, Steph, do you have a favorite NPC?
Triton, I think, is the only one I'm actually aware of, but that's because the voice is very familiar.
I was about to say, it's an NPC that does outside of the game all the time. It's probably Crichton.
That maybe not the exact personality, but that voice I have heard so often.
So on to, I think, will be possibly the final question of the Q&A. What are you all looking forward to in the next series of Aegis? We'll start with Steph. What are you looking forward to next season?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how the character rewrite for Melnick actually works out, because it's completely been rebuilt from an NPC to an actual player character. So that's going to be fun.
Yes, we're gonna get to see Melnick's backstory, I guess, and why she decided to join Starfleet.
Yeah, and then see my character get tortured along with the rest of you guys.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
the way I do it.
And
Yeah,
Stewart
Nacho.
gets to get on a break.
Hey,
No
the
more
lawyers
time
called. They said it's character development.
Ah,
Stewart gets relaxed. No more science. No more idiot questions. She can just be there in the corner, away from everything. Back to science things.
Right, that's so ridiculous that
Do science.
Anyway, I'll need somebody to help me go through these alien artifacts carefully, of course.
Mhm.
Hold this.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Bernard can help you with that, you know.
Oh, good old Bernard. Is it
I think Bernard
or
is
Bernard?
Just because it makes things so much worse.
That's sort of the question I wanted people to ask. But it is pronounced Bernard, but I wanted it like spelled as Bernard.
Whatever you
Why?
go with.
Merely to annoy people, but at the same time,
Bernard.
I think it's obvious that Bernard is kind of inspired by like Baldric and Jurgen, but then also from the Black
Jurgen
from the Caiaphas
40K.
Kane 40K
Yes,
universe,
yes,
yeah. And then for the name, I was just like, the only thing that stuck in my head was just the moment of just like, Nursey, what's your real name? Bernard.
Yeah.
One thing I want to acknowledge is all the other PCs and Zach's just always made engineering feel like a live place, right? And a lot of that was the NPCs and people playing their characters and stuff. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I do enjoy having the opportunity to play like not just the main characters, but also having like the side characters, like the supposed
True play-
NPCs. They're not. Yeah, they're the lower deck guys who
Yeah,
do all
true
the
play
other
is
hard
fun.
work. Yeah,
True play is most definitely fun.
and it's nice to have us all have the opportunity to sort of play out of character, being like, oh, you can be engineering or security or something.
Cheesy, what are you looking forward to next season?
So I've been having a bunch of theories about the captain because I heard that the captain was in other campaigns. So I'm like, I have theories, so I'm hoping some of them are correct. So I can't wait to see if I'm correct or not. I'm looking forward to the ship's mascot that we will be getting this season. I swear to God, we need one.
Yep, we will.
We're getting a mascot?
No.
Yes,
I'll die trying.
Minibot?
No.
It'll be a triple.
No.
Yep.
Minibot, Mini bot, mini bot, mini bot.
Oh
doesn't
no,
exist.
mini bot / the tribble got spaced accidentally. Who could have thought?
Listen,
Whatever you do,
listen,
just don't look at the lab.
listen. In Soral's archive, there's a file called "Mechanical Tribbles?" ?
Oh,
Just open that.
that sounds
Awesome.
perfect. So that's how the replicators from Stargate got going, right?
Shush
Yeah.
you.
Oh.
Hey, we would make a mini bot doghouse in engineering for him, okay?
Would be
No,
wonderful.
not
Like
on Sharp
every
Ship. No, you're not.
every single B plot is just hiding the ever increasing amount of pets from the captain.
I enjoy this plan.
Peter, what are you looking forward to next season?
Like next season, I am actually looking forward to more interacting with some of the members of the crew. So like I'm interested to see Xanto with Horn, obviously with more Remora and Shira, and maybe some more shenanigans with Romanoff always. And also looking forward to seeing how Xantar will interact with the new science officer. It'd be nice to have a science officer for once.
Yes. Just yeah, they do science. Felix, what are you looking forward to?
Yes, I've said before, like getting behind the mask that Horn is presenting the world, which should hopefully work and be a lot of fun, at least for me. Everyone else, I don't know. Maybe.
I'm sure
Maybe.
it will be a lot of fun. Yes.
Some might enjoy it, others not so much.
Brian, what are you looking forward to next season? Oh, you've gone muted there, Brian. I don't know if you're on.
He died again.
You've probably gone. Okay. Panda, what are you looking forward to next season?
First of all, just playing with you guys. I miss game. I miss with all you guys. I miss all the hijinks and
it's been a long time.
It has been a long it has
Getting
been
from
quite
there
a
to here?
while. Yeah, nope. Shut up. It's been quite a while. And I really miss you guys and really miss this game. As to things I'm hoping or excited for in the game itself, just I'd love to see more development of the other characters. I would see the overall plot and where it's going. I'd love to see, as I have already, it's already been kind of teased by, or I'll kind of tease it now, is that there's gonna be a little more revelation of what Sharp has been hiding, and that will be exciting to do. I'm excited to see Steph in the game and see how Mjolnir is played in an actual PC. It'd be great. Have an actual science officer. Please don't leave like our other science officer.
The more that you guys talk about how great it's going to be to have a science officer, the more scared I get.
Yeah, but finally we have someone who can tell us all about all the beams we can use.
Good.
Yes.
We should be scared.
So yeah, it'd be great. I'm excited.
Zach, what are you looking forward to next season?
Well, when season 3 rolls around, I am looking forward to. Honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing how this will all come together. This, for those unaware, I will say now that the way I plotted this out, Aegis is a 3-season run. So what we have when we get to that will cover the remainder of the campaign. It might go a little bit longer than the last game, or rather than the last season did. We will just see how that goes here. And I will say, just for a moment, a quick behind-the-scenes thing, I have been deafened because now my headset apparently has died. Oh dear. Let's see. Just seeing if I can correct for that. The mic is still perfectly fine. Let's see.
Got technical issues there.
I'm just
There
glad
we go.
Mike's staying.
I've got it plugged in now, so I'm back.
Yay!
No, I'm looking forward to seeing what all of you do when we get to that point. It's going to be fun, and yeah, I'll do it.
It's been a long,
But we still have a ways to go still. However, before we do that, the thing that I'm looking forward to next is kind of completing what I had in mind for season 2. Because as I mentioned earlier, I envisioned one more episode past this point, and I'll give you guys a countdown on when to start it here. But when we come back, we aren't going to be we're not going to be jumping right into season 3 proper. We will be running a sort of mini-series type campaign. I'll get into this more formally with other posts in the future once we get there, but this will be done slightly differently, at least for how it drops on the channel. Very specifically, we will probably be recording these games first, and then we will play the previously recorded sessions on Twitch. It's for reasons that are very complicated right now. It might be the best way to make things work for the foreseeable future. We're going to test it out, at least with the miniseries. But I figure I could give you all a little peek at what is to come. So, those of you that have it up in the Discord there, 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, so
I think I know what that's hinting at. We're getting a cloaking device.
What do you mean, Day of Infamy?
I think it's gonna be fun.
As all days of infamy are. I think that is all. Oh no, there's one more question. Peter.
Yes.
How many lights are there?
Oh God, no!
And with that, I think that's the end of the Q&A.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Craig, for running the session here, and
thank you, Craig,
guiding us through. And thanks to everyone that's been here, the players, of course, for all joining us today, and thank you in the audience for joining. I hope that we haven't completely rendered you too terrified of all of this to not come back in the future. Before I go through other things, for those of you that might still be interested in this, I do want to acknowledge a couple other things. Season 2 in particular, there was a lot of help from people that came into that. Obviously, in terms of the narrative crafting, I had some very great people that I was working with, players that shared a lot of ideas. I also need to acknowledge some other friends that helped out with some things. In particular, there was the lending of voice talent. So I would give one shout out to my friend Doc BGA. That's not the proper link to him, but he is here on Twitch. He does a bi-weekly tabletop stream. He also is playing a lot of Star Citizen right now, so I encourage you to check them out. He voiced both the Klingon captain that showed up in Acheron, as well as he took over, I believe, for I believe it was Titus Olite, or no, it was Roger Olite in the way back in the in the first episode of the campaign. Also, one of my other friends who showed up in the early season newscast in the first episode. Particular shout out goes to Clover Scouts, who is streaming on an intermittent basis these days, but is still doing things. She also does a lot of art. She is one of my oldest and dearest friends, so definitely recommend you check her out. We also did have a voice cameo from someone who did the... what was it? He was on the... it was the Wolf 359 project was what it was. The sort of fan history of the events leading up to and during and aftermath of the Battle of Wolf 359. They released a book some time ago, and one of the authors was willing to volunteer to lend his voice talent to that. So frankly, I might be talking to him again at some point. But that's just another fun little thing to read over if you like your narratives, if you like some dense historical narrative sort of stuff. So I wanted to offer those quick shout-outs. So far as anything here, all of our campaigns are archived here on YouTube. They're archived on YouTube, so check out the previous sessions and start where you will. It's an interesting experience, I promise. And also you can keep up to date via our social media and Discord here. So we will certainly be announcing there when we have set dates to start releasing the new, releasing the miniseries. So that I think is all that I've got. Anyone else have any parting thoughts on the matter?
When's the next session?
Yes,
for us.
We'll chat afterwards here. All right, and we will keep all of you at home apprised on that as well. So I think from God damn it, Zyla. God damn it.
I mean, it is a good, perfectly reasonable question.
Yeah, it's Cheesy's question typically.
Beat me to it. I was waiting for a silence.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you might have had some recent experience.
Yep. Yep. Good night, everybody.